Hey, what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thanks for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we are doing the Smith versus Eubank 2 breakdown video as Liam Smith, the former junior middleweight champion, battles Chris Eubank Jr., former world title challenger, in a rematch from their January of this year fight that ended in a 4th round TKO victory for Liam Smith. Now, before we get into that, if you guys could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I try to build my channel up here. So this rematch, excuse me, this rematch is a big one, you know, for both men, because middleweight, you know, they're fighting at middleweight, but it's just going to lead to bigger fights for the winner, you know. Liam Smith, you know, came into the first fight an underdog, but there were a lot of people that thought it was going to be a close fight. I personally thought Eubank was going to outwork him in a competitive fight, but I thought Eubank was going to outwork him and outbox him and get a clean decision. And, you know, Liam Smith just went in there. The first 3 rounds were close, and then boom, he caught him in the 4th round and stopped him. And that was a surprise because Eubank's always had a fantastic chin. But Liam Smith, the hungry fighter, former champ, knew what he had to do. So I think this is a big fight for the middleweight division moving forward, because the winner pretty much can handpick a champion and get in a ring and fight for a title next, for sure. And then Eubank also has, you know, the option of, what's his name, Conor Ben. Maybe Liam Smith would have that option too. We just have to wait and see. But if you guys have not seen my breakdown videos before, I get into the fight like I just did. I talk about each fighter, ask the same questions. And in a fight like this, a contender's bout, we start with the favorite and then move to the underdog. So let's do that. We start with Liam Smith, the favorite coming into the fight, the former junior middleweight champion. Only his, I think technically his second or third fight here at middleweight. He's obviously carried power up, beating Eubank in his last fight. His last 3 fights date back to just last year in 2022. He's been pretty active when he stopped Jesse Vargas in the 10th round of their fight. That was at 154. Then he stayed busy against a guy, I can't remember his name, and got a 4th round TKO over him. And then he stopped Chris Eubank in the 4th round of their fight in January. So that's 3 knockouts in a row for a guy that generally has not been a big knockout guy. But again, I truly believe he's carried his power up, and Liam Smith is a dangerous middleweight now. And he's heading into this fight the favorite. He's hungry. He's not looking at other places, and I think he's very poised to get a victory here at 35, leaving no doubt, because I really do think he wants to take another run at a world title in a 2nd weight class before he's all done. Now, what does he need to do to win this fight? He needs to just have the same composure and maybe put some more pressure on Eubank. Liam Smith's a guy that's only been stopped by Canelo Alvarez years ago, and he's a guy that is hungry and he's a grinder. He comes forward, he's a seasoned vet, he knows what to do. And Eubank, even though Eubank's tough, Liam Smith, I believe, apply a little bit more pressure, use his angles, pound the body, and I think he should be able to defeat Eubank with that, you know. But he also needs to be wary of Eubank's power. Eubank's a guy that is strong, but he's also, you know, been a powerful guy that's fought at 168. So I think he just needs to use that, take you know, Eubank into the deep waters if he can't catch him early again, and drown him like that. But I think he's got a very good chance here to pull that off. Now, can Liam Smith win by knockout? Well, he saw that he can already, so yes. Can he win by a decision? I think he can. I think Liam Smith has the capability of pulling off a decision victory over Chris Eubank in this rematch. Now, what does a win mean for Liam Smith right here? Well, it really cements himself at middleweight as a 150% legit and probably guarantees him a title shot in a wide open ass division. So He was already lined up to fight, what's his name, the middleweight champ, Janabek Alam Kanuli, and that fight fell through because, you know, of him having to do with mandatory rematch. So he absolutely could be fighting for a title next year if he gets a victory here. What does a loss mean for Liam Smith? Depends on how he loses. I don't think a loss is going to completely kill him, but it really depends on how he loses and the manner, if he's competitive at all. And, you know, at 35, it could really take a toll, or it could not mean that much because it was a close fight, and maybe that sets up a third fight. Who knows? Now let's switch over to the underdog, the former world title challenger, Chris Eubank Jr. Heading into this fight, well, he's coming off the loss, a knockout loss, the first of his career, to Liam Smith. Tough defeat right there. His prior fights before that, he scored a victory over Liam Williams last year, a decision win where he scored 4 knockdowns, and then prior to that, he got a TKO victory over some little-known fighter in 2021. So heading into this one, he's coming off of the first knockout loss of his career, so he really is poised to win this fight. Though he switched trainers, I think he took on Errol Spence and the Charlo's trainer, Derek James, and you know, he's trying to, I think that's who he switched to. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's who he switched to. Or no, he got Bomac. I'm sorry, he got a Crawford's trainer. I apologize. You know, Eubank, it's really dependent on how hungry he is. Is he looking towards a Conor Benn fight again? Because that's still on the table. I mean, it just really depends on where his attitude is, depending on, you know, how serious he's taking the fight. If he wins this fight, it could lead to bigger things, you know. But I really think Eubank's kind of taking on an Amir Khan approach to where I don't really think he cares that much. So, you know, we're going to see what Eubank brings to the table in this fight. Now, what kind of style does Eubank need to have? I think he needs to use his height and his reach advantage. I really believe that could play key for him to win this rematch with Liam Smith right here. I think if he wants to do anything other than a Conor Benn fight, I think he's going to need to win this fight, and I think he needs to be hungry. And going in, if he can pull this victory off, you know, one way or the other by using his height, using his reach, and setting up his power punches, then, you know, I think that's the key to doing it. Now, can Eubank win by a knockout? I think he can. Liam Smith's a tough guy and can take a punch, though. It's not going to be easy. So I think if he wins by a knockout, he's either going to have to do what Liam Smith did and catch him cold, or he's going to have to break him down and take him deep and stop him in the late rounds. Can he win a decision? I think Eubank can win a decision. I think the first time around, I picked him to win a decision. So I think he can win a decision over Liam Smith. Not going to be easy. It will be competitive, but I think he can win a decision. What does a win mean for Chris Eubank here? Well, it's really up to Chris Eubank, to be honest. A win over Liam Smith probably guarantees the showdown with Conor Benn, and could maybe lead to bigger things other than that if that's what he really wants to do, depending on how serious he takes his career. You know, it could mean a lot. Now, what does a loss mean? I think a loss kind of depletes him in terms of it's going to take him out of that competitive range to where you're only going to see him fight the Conor Benn kind of magnitude in terms of legacy, you know, not really fighting for championships and to be the best, just to big money fights like that kind of mode is what I see if he loses, and loses decisively, you know. So, because Chris Eubank, in all honesty, hasn't really taken his career super serious, or he, in my opinion, he could have been a world champion. But, you know, be that as it may, this is where we're at, and this is the fight he's in. So, with that being said, now, is it better for boxing if Liam Smith wins this fight or if Chris Eubank wins this fight? It's tough to say, because I think Eubank could probably be the more, has the bigger drawing power, maybe the more attractive style overall. But Liam Smith's a grinder and actually takes the sport serious. where Chris Eubank doesn't as much. So I think it's a little bit better for boxing if Liam Smith wins this one because, well, it depends. I think it's better for boxing in terms of your true boxing fan like myself. But for the casual fan, it might be Eubank. Eubank might be better. So it's kind of that casual versus hardcore boxing fan type thing that I think we're competing with. And now, my prediction, who's going to win this rematch between the middleweight rematch between Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr.? I'm going Liam Smith. I picked against him in the first fight, and he did prove me wrong. I don't believe Chris Eubank is focused as, he should be, and that's kind of been a trend. And I won't be surprised if Eubank wins this fight. I just think Eubank's going to come back better prepared. I just don't think he cares about a fight with Liam Smith. I think he's only taking this fight because he lost the first time. And I think he's still looking ahead to other fights. I think that's where his focus is. And I think Chris Eubank is going to lose this fight. I see Liam Smith winning by a decision. I could see it ending late. But again, I could see Eubank winning a decision or stopping Liam Smith late. So it's somewhat close to a 50-50 fight, but I'm confident picking Liam Smith just because, again, I think it's the focus of Chris Eubank Jr. If Chris Eubank's focus is 100% there and he's ready to go, I think he has a very good chance of winning. So we'll see what happens, but that's Saturday, September 2nd, I believe. And that is, we don't know which network that's going to take place on yet. It's on Sky Sports, but it got picked up last time, I believe, by ESPN. And I believe ESPN Plus will probably pick it up again. But again, that's Saturday, September 2nd on Sky Sports, likely ESPN. Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. This is the breakdown video of that middleweight clash. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.